Live from Charlotte, North Carolina. This is the Racers Elite. They are chase racing for round number 2, and I am Alan Bergen alongside Shane Lake here in the Tony Trapasso studio. Shane, how's it going, bub?
Well, you know what they say about things going on in North Carolina, don't you? In order to be the man, you have got to beat the man. Woo! And right now, that man is Kinsley Smith after winning chase race number 1 at Richmond last week. Can he back it up with another star-studded performance tonight? The 105 laps here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, 2 pit stops more than likely. Guys going flat out through these corners. I'm excited.
Me too. And right now, Joe Hudson is on the provisional pole. But we can go ahead and see what Sean Merriman is doing there in that number 18 Sim Seats Toyota Tundra. We're on the backside of qualifying, so definitely want to thank everybody for joining us here in the booth tonight, or in the race tonight here. And let's go over your race information so far. So we're at the 1.5 Charlotte Motor Speedway for round number 2 of the chase. It's 75 degrees Fahrenheit, 48% relative humidity, under a partly cloudy sky, and a 6-mile-an-hour wind. Right now, Joe Hudson has the time to beat with a 29.65. So,
you know, that doesn't surprise me because I was watching a little bit of these guys in practice. These guys were clocking off 29.6s, 29.7, so that's pretty much going to be the optimal speed around here tonight. And as the tires fall off, you're going to see these guys moving around more and more. I'm going to be interested to see how quick that top line forms up, because once you start sliding these trucks, you're only going to get one chance to save it. You're going to want to save some tire towards the end of the run to make sure you're not struggling towards the back of this pack, because, again, you're looking at about 40, 45 laps on a tank of fuel here. It'll be interesting to see what these guys can do.
The other thing, too, Shane, as we're watching Sean Merriman still, as he goes second quickest and matches Joe Hudson's time. Wow, 29.65. You know, we got the 600 miler coming up, the Charlotte 600 here with Racers Elite. Do you think that some of these guys are using this as a test session to see where they might run at on the racetrack?
I think they can, but with it being a vastly different vehicle from the trucks to, I think they're running the next gen car in the 600.
Yes.
It's going to be different because the lines are going to feel a little bit different and the tire is going to feel a little bit different, but it'll give you kind of an idea what the vehicle is going to do late race, especially if the track temperature is what it is now late race. But honestly, I don't think there's a lot you can learn running trucks the next gen car. Now, if this was the Gen 6 car, there's a bit of correlation between them and basically wanting to drive off the right rear. And again, that's the difference. The biggest difference with the Gen 6 to now, you have to drive the Gen 7 car off the right front, and that takes a lot of adapting to do so.
Right now, it's 77-degree track temperature right now, so it's a cool one on the racetrack as these guys are getting ready to get to their grid.
That means there's going to be a lot of grip out there tonight, and these boys are going to enjoy it.
It's definitely going to be, as we call it in the dirt world, hammer down.
Oh, yeah, and these boys are going to be finding out where that cushion's going to be, because one false step over that cushion, you're smacking that right side clean off the wall.
As we get ready to show you the starting lineup, Joe Hudson grabs the pole. Sean Merriman will start to his outside. Brandon Zimmerman will start in that third position there for driving extreme, with Troy Thomas to his outside there. On the inside of row number 3, we have Philip Archibald and Brandon Sanfilippo. Row number 4, we'll see Herbie Wainscott, that KOC Toyota Tundra. Alongside of him will be Kinsley Smith in that 15 Napa Know-How Chevrolet. On the inside of row number 5, we have Truth Hoke and the Chief Cook and Bottle Washer here at Racers Elite, and that is Andrew Teft. row number 6, we'll have Dennis Kane and Jason Bottoms in that 5 truck. So we move up to the field here. Zach Lockett will start 13th. Brandon Honeycutt will start his outside there in 14th. Curtis Ecker will start 15th. Barry Stevens will start 16th. Alex Teft will start shotgun on the field, and it looks like Rick Kennedy has elected to not till he essentially elected to start from the rear in the pits.
Yeah, he's probably just going to try to play it safe early, as it looks like the lights are out on top of that pace truck.
Yes, and we'd like to thank everybody for making Racers Elite and SRM your entertainment destination here on a Tuesday night as we get ready to go truck racing here. 105 laps, as Shane had mentioned, from Charlotte Motor Speedway. You know, formerly named Lowe's Motor Speedway, or, you know, Charlotte Speedway, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, well, all we know is it is going to be bad fast tonight. Can Kensley Smith make the moves to get up to the front and keep his stranglehold on the points lead, or will somebody else make some headlines tonight? We are, woo, Flyer Country Racing as the green flag is out from Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Joe Hudson's going to lead this field down to the green flag and into turn number 1. Gonna have Sean Merriman to his outside. Here comes Brandon Zimmerman to his inside, and they are jockeying for position.
Yeah, I see a lot of these guys trying to settle in single file, but Zimmerman's like, nah, I want to try to get a sniff of that lead, and Hudson slams the doors that come out of turn 4. Hudson's going to lead the opening lap.
Yeah, give lap 1 to Joe Hudson there in that number 49 truck. And I tell you what,
Merriman scraped the wall off of 2.
that's all right. That, you know what? That's okay. You don't want to do it too many times.
Nah, he just knocked the wax off the wrap because he just picked up the lead and is cruising away.
Sean Merriman says IDO, says that he takes the field down into turn number 1. Not only did he take the field chain, he set the fastest lap of the race so far with a 30.05.
Yeah, race pace is going to be right around 30 seconds, give or take. As we were watching these guys practicing earlier on, the practice qualifying speeds were right around 29.6, 29.7. It looks like Troy Thomas is bleeding positions.
Not only is he bleeding positions, but Brandon Sanfilippo is bringing Kinsley Smith and Jason Bottoms right along with them, trying to get a hold of himself there.
Yeah, I don't think he wanted to get up that high, and unfortunately, once that freight train gets underneath you, it's like Talladega. You're going to end up bleeding 4 or 5 spots before you get back in the line.
Well, I tell you what, there, Andrew Tuft is on the outside, and he's trying to find a spot in line. And here comes, whoa, a little side draft action, taking a little loose.
3 wide through the tri-oval.
Wow, you can't do that, guys.
Oh, you can do it, but you just better hope it doesn't end up ugly.
Hey, guess
we've seen that happen way too many times.
Guess what? Kinsley Smith
is on the roll.
He set the fastest lap of the race so far.
Oh, I am not surprised by that. He has been fast on the 1.5 miles. The last race I was here for with the Truck Series guys was over in Las Vegas, and Kinsley was evil quick. It doesn't surprise me if they brought that same chassis back tonight.
Well, you know, unfortunately, our timing and scoring doesn't show it, but if you look on the trucks there, Shane, the banners and blue spoilers represent the drivers that are in the chase. And so a number of these guys could actually play spoiler here and essentially just, you know, like Kirby Wainscott, for instance, he could play spoiler if he can get there and win. And some of these guys that didn't make the chase, they're essentially trying to gain momentum for next season.
Yeah, and right now, a lot of these guys that didn't make the chase, they're just racing for pride and to say, hey, I might have missed the chase, but next season, watch out for me.
Yeah, Dennis Kane being one of the drivers as Brandon Zimmerman gets a little squirrely, and Curtis Eckert is taking advantage of that one.
Is it just me, or does the floor have some damage already? Look at the back bumper of the floor truck. Looks like it got caved in.
Well, and that's the thing. It's funny that you mentioned that, is the fact that some of these drivers, you know, get caught in traffic or might get bottlenecked on the start. May have got rear-ended a little bit there.
Yeah, the back end of that Ford truck is definitely pushed in. That spoiler is definitely wrinkled up.
We are working lap 9 of 105 here.
These laps are going to click off quick, but again, once these tires start fading off a little bit, you're going to see these guys, case in point with the 19 truck here, Curtis Eckert, move up a group just to try to save the tire for late in the run, so that way they are not down to basically the rim on pit road.
I mean, I think tires will definitely come into into play here.
Yeah, and a lot of these guys are actually kind of backing off a little bit going into the corner just to let the front end take a step before they pick up the throttle, which is smart and does save the tire, because you can run this track wide open in the trucks, but being able to do it and constantly doing it are two separate things.
Yeah, so you want to be able to hit your lines, hit your mark for sure. And if we're watching Philip Archibald, he's got a whole mirror full of Andrew Tuft and Curtis Eckert there.
Yeah, he might have a mirror full of them, but right now it seems like everyone's kind of singled out and just logging laps, just kind of feeling where their truck wants to be, because Merriman, we got a battle, it looks like, here, because Merriman's got Sanfilippo and Kinsley Smith right on his tailgate.
Well, my ears were burning, and I knew that was coming up. You know, so Sean Merriman not in the playoffs, trying to play that spoiler role, but Brandon Sanfilippo is, and so is Kinsley Smith. It's Brandon Sanfilippo going to the inside. Will he get the spot? And ooh,
yeah,
whoa,
he's
hello,
relatively close.
Hello. Here comes Brandon Sanfilippo as they drag race through the quad oval.
Well, that's the one thing. You can get on the inside of somebody, but if they get that run coming off the corner on the outside, they're going to end up hauling you down the line, and I believe Merriman's going to hold on to position for right now.
He is, and Sanfilippo is going to return back to second position. He's going to take another look. I just don't think he has enough motor right now.
No, he's got to back the run up a little bit. You got to think of this a lot like you would Talladega, Daytona, and Atlanta. You got to be able to set the run up off the corner to try to beat somebody either into the entrance of 1 or the entrance of 3, and then slide up and take their line.
Yeah, Kinsley Smith running third position right now. He's the only one that wants to see these guys side by side, because it's going to allow him to catch up.
Not just that, but he can kind of just sit back and watch what these trucks are doing, knowing what his truck's able to do. And he's kind of just studying these guys right now. But one thing he's got to worry about is studying his rearview mirror, because Troy Thomas is getting ready to climb all over him. Yeah,
Troy Thomas there, the Outsiders team, in that beautiful black and white Mountain Dew and Fanatec. I had a chance to talk to him, and he's one of the drivers as well as other drivers are looking forward to Sunday. And Troy Thomas, he says, look, I'm good at some of these tracks, but he definitely likes the trucks, and he definitely does like the next-gen cars. Especially, he cannot wait till Sunday morning when we get to go to Charlotte and the next-gen cars and go 600 miles.
That is going to be a long and exhausting race for a lot of these guys.
Well, think about it like this. It's going to be 600 miles. We're going to start in the daytime. We're going to drive through the evening. So this race started at night.
Yeah,
the sun was already down. So
this is more of, like I said earlier, what it's going to be like late race. The final couple 100 miles are going to be under the lights. This is what these guys are going to be dealing with at that point of the race. Now, again, it's a different driving style. Next-gen cars, you're driving off the right front. The trucks, the Xfinity cars, and the Gen 6 cars, you're driving off the right rear. But you'll be at least able to see what you want the field to be when it gets down this late in the race. I mean, you're still going to have like 2 or 3 stops in the next-gen car at around 200 miles to go, but you'll at least be able to know what you need to adjust when that time comes.
Right now we got about 17 laps on the tires there. So we're 17 laps in. I imagine fuel's about, I don't know, 40 to 60% fuel. So
Yeah,
105 laps.
Yeah, you're looking at about probably 35-ish laps. I would say maybe 30 if they're running 60% tank.
Well, right now we're about halfway through the fuel, through the pit stop window there. So, with that being said, we're about halfway through the run, and if it holds true, we just see drivers starting to come down right around that 35 lap mark.
35 to 40, depending on how long they've been drafting, if they've been saving anything, kind of lifting and coasting a little bit into the corner, and then kind of being easy on the throttle as Andrew Teft in that 98 decided to get a little bit sideways coming off before.
He got slideways, actually.
Yeah, he got it a little bit cranked. I was starting to see that door number from up here in the booth.
Well, I do know this. I know Andrew Teft really loves the trucks. He has a blast driving these days.
Yeah, these trucks are a lot of fun if you can get it right. As we are riding here with Rick Kennedy Jr. in that 51 Bama Buggies truck.
Yeah, he started in the pits. He's a couple laps down. Or actually, he's about 19 seconds behind. So I would imagine that Sean Merriman should be coming up on him relatively soon.
Yeah, he's probably about 10 seconds behind him by now. So I would say Merriman's probably going to be lapping him before long.
Jason Bowden's here in that number 5 truck. Jason Bowden, 57 fan, is cheering him on here in the YouTube.com live chat. And make sure you guys hit the like, subscribe, and bell of notifications. That way you can see every time that SRM comes on to the air. We got a great programming 6 nights a week.
Yeah, and we also got people who apparently think I'm their work mistress.
Hey.
Dave, I'm going to get you back for that, trust me.
Speaking of Dave Regal, after this, you can catch the end of Throwback Weekend over on SNN. They're doing their Sunday night NASCAR. But it's really Tuesday night Truck Series racing. And go over there, give Dave Regal some love. Tell him that his work mistress sent him. Shane Lake sent him.
Yeah, tell him the work mistress sent you guys over, and he'll just crack jokes the rest of the night.
Hey, we're all here to inform and entertain.
Yeah, and speaking of entertaining, Troy Thomas is taking a lead from Sean Merriman, and Brandon Sanfilippo tried to get in there, but Sean shut the door clean on him.
And
we've got a caution.
Caution.
And it looked like possibly the 17. Yeah, it looked like the 17 had a problem.
Check out what happened there. 17.
Oh
no!
He tried to clear himself going up, and unfortunately, the 99 was there.
We're gonna, yeah. I know. John really hates when we do we run things back.
Yeah, you'll see the 17 try to slide up the hill, whether it was the normal line or trying to shut the door on the 99.
There he is. Oh,
and
man.
And he just tried to clear himself, and he wasn't clear. He was not clear in the slightest. And that is going to hurt that 17 truck.
Well, now we're 25 laps in. So
I'd be coming down getting 4 tires.
Oh, they will.
I mean, there's no other option at this point. I mean, if it was a green flag stop and you knew your tires were good, maybe get gas and only, but under caution, you gotta take stickers. That's what I'd be doing.
You're not wrong. 25 laps to 105 laps. You know, we're only 3/4 of the way. We're already, you know, a quarter of the way through the race. And
yeah, and that's the thing. These guys click these laps off like there's no tomorrow. Like I said earlier on in the show, when they did Las Vegas, they went green to checker in like an hour.
So everybody but Jason Bottoms went pit side.
What in the world is he thinking?
Well, he came in off cycle though.
Yeah, so he's probably trying to get the wave around.
Yeah.
Gotta love that camo paint job on that 5 truck, to be honest with you.
I mean, I would be remiss if I didn't see a Levi Garrett scheme.
True. I actually ran a camo car way back in my old NR03 days, and I actually ran it on the road course at Watkins Glen. I ended up winning with it, and to this day, I just say that was my John Cena car because no one could see me as I was driving away.
No one could see it. That's awesome.
It worked perfectly. Camouflage paint job, hunter orange numbers. You couldn't see me.
Oh,
I loved it.
Goodness gracious.
You see, Dave, you're not the only one who can have fun during the shows.
Well, I think...
Oh, God. It's going to be that type of night.
It's already that type of night. So let's do this.
Let's reset the field for everybody. Merriman and Hudson are going to be on the front row. And again, everyone's going to have the same tires, the same deal as we see the 5 truck getting waved around the pace truck here. Or about ready to.
Well, what we're going to do real quick is we're going to bring the race leader up real quick.
Okay, let's do this thing.
Sean Merriman, this is Alan and Shane in the SRM booth. You got a copy?
Sir, what's going on?
Hey, bud. So, look, you're 27 laps into this race. You're leading, and you're getting ready to go 1 to green. What's the track feel like 27 laps in? And is there a ton of grip in the racetrack right now that you're seeing?
There's a good bit of grip right off the get-go, but after about 8-10 laps, start tightening up a lot, and 3 and 4 especially, I'd start lifting a good bit there. Had to slide up a lane to keep the tires under it for a little while. But yeah, I mean, for 1 and 2s mostly wide open. You just got a little lift in 3 and 4 after 10 laps or so, but good racing.
Well, look, man, so you are, right now, you're P1, getting, you know, up there in the front. Are we going to, what's it going to take to hold Joe Hudson behind you as we get ready to go 1 to green?
Good restart, get out ahead, make sure he's not on my door, getting off 2 especially. I think if you can get the lead, then hold that for a little while. First couple laps is pretty much wide open, so it's hard to make any ground on anybody when everybody's filled to the middle.
Well, all right.
If I can get a good jump, it'll be all right.
All right, Sean, we're going to go ahead and get you back down your team. Good luck, and hopefully we'll see you on the other side.
All right, appreciate it.
Hold her open, brother.
And that is Sean Merriman. And Shane, we're getting ready to come back to a green flag, my guy.
Yeah, he's right. As we've been watching these guys, as the tires have worn off, you do have to give it a little bit of a lift. 3 and 4 can come back up and smack you, so you got to be careful. As we've seen so many trucks get really loose coming off of 4. I'm surprised we haven't seen more issues off of turn 4, but quite frankly, we ain't done yet. And I'm excited to see what's going to happen these final, roughly, 70 some odd laps?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited too. We're on board. We're going to come on board with Sean Merriman here as we come to green.
See what type of launch he gets, because The old Barney, the old flag man, he's got that flag high. You can see these guys throttling up to try to get back on it, close each other up. They address the flag stand, and on the break, we're back green. And Merriman has timed it. Riding on board, about to say, riding on board with Brandon Zimmerman. He's going to slide into fifth. He's going to have, I believe, Kinsley Smith on his inside. And Kinsley's going to make that pass, try to stick coming off a 2. Doesn't exactly slide up. Zimmerman cut him some slack to let him in.
Yeah, and you almost want to do that. And right now you're 165 coming out of 4. And I think there's going to be multiple groups of racing by the end of this race.
Oh yeah, we saw it as the tires wore down. If you had anything saved, you were able to roll the bottom. But if you didn't have anything saved, you are actually able to make the middle and the top of the line, top of the track work. That's going to be ideal late in the race because if you can actually hold the bottom, you're going to be able to make better moves, unless your truck is happier up top. And if that's the case, you can keep the guy pinned down, throttle off, and force them to try to lift.
Well, right now, the other thing I want to point out too is these guys are now on fresh tires, so now it's a whole new race. You pretty much hit the reset button here at 30 laps, and now we're all on the same level playing field. But these guys are going to be qualifying, and they're going to take what they learned in that first stint and apply it to the second stint now.
Yeah, and that's the thing, as we saw Joe Hudson fall back through the field. Again, he had the same issue early on in the race. He fell back a bit, but then he was able to storm his way back up through, whether he was just kind of letting the truck come to him or, you know, he just got shuffled out, one of the two. But we'll see him storm back up the next 8 to 10 laps. I feel confident with that.
Well, here comes Alex Tuft, right around Andrew Tuft there in that Home Depot 43 Toyota Tundra. As he doesn't qualify real good, but he's always there. He's one of those fly under the radar kind of drivers.
Yeah, he's one of those guys in NASCAR, a lot like what Michael Waltrip used to be, or Dale Jr. when he was with DEI, or even early days with Hendrick, or, you know, guys like that. They didn't exactly qualify inside the top 10 to 15 a lot of the time, but when it came time to get to the cash window, they were there. So I wouldn't be surprised to see that 43 hovering around the top 10 the rest of this race.
Cheers Hope there in that number 59 Wrangler Chevy Silverado. He's working the outside. He's going to try to get around Andrew Tuft and maybe get himself a 2-for-1 special here.
Yeah, and he's making that outside line work. He's able to keep the RPMs up, and in doing so, he's keeping guys pinned down, forcing them to cut the wheel harder. And in doing that, they're scrubbing off speed. So he's able to hold his line a lot better, while everyone else is forced to check up for him.
Yeah, and so you mentioned for, you know, being a driver, over the last 3 seasons, he's really learned a whole lot about these racing, about, you know, pavement racing and what he needs to do to make that work. And really started taking care of his equipment, and now he finds himself there at the end. And this year he finds himself in the playoffs.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You got to be consistent to make it in the playoffs. You can't tear up equipment early and then hope for the best if you rattle off, you know, 5 or 6 top 5s in a row after tearing your stuff up early. You got to be able to be there consistently at the end. If that means backing off your pace a little bit to save your equipment, you got to do it. That's the only way you win championships.
As we are looking at Andrew Tuft there in that number 98 curb record Toyota Tundra, and he won Sunday. He won Sunday at Darlington, won the championship rather, and a throwback scheme all the way back to John Andretti and Jeremy Mayfield.
Yeah, seeing him run inside the top 10 here doesn't surprise me after the performance he had at Darlington. That'll kind of give you a confidence boost for the rest of the season, no matter what you're driving. If you pick up,
whoa, hello.
19 decided to scrape a little bit of paint off that All-American Menards paint job tonight.
Well, Kirby Wainscott there in the 10 almost made that extra crispy for him.
Yeah, that would have needed a little bit of extra buffalo sauce.
Hey, look, you may be able to save big money at Menards, but Curtis Eckert takes any more off the rep. He's not even saving big money anywhere.
No, because you'd be better off putting a piece of plywood there instead of putting sheet metal. You might want to talk to Alex Steff and get a deal over at Home Depot.
Battle of the department of the big box stores. All we need now is a Lowe's and a True Value. We really have a battle on our hands.
Don't tempt me. I was halfway considering actually driving the Lowe's truck this weekend, but I'm glad I went back with the Dale Jr. orange Menards paint scheme from back when he dominated Daytona in 06.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch, here comes Brandon Sopopolo and Kinsley Smith. And, you know, Brandon Zimmerman, he's even trying to get in on the party here, too.
As my dad would say, meanwhile, back on Tom.
Oh, man.
Yes, Brandon Sanfilippo and that Bernadette Strong Chevrolet trying to make that move on Sean Merriman. Falls back in the line, but he's going to try to set him up to inside of 1 and 2. If he can throttle up and get on his door, he'd have a chance coming off the corner, but he just doesn't seem to be able to do it.
Now he's got help in the form of Kinsley Smith there and that number 15 truck.
Did we just see some bump drafting at Charlotte Motor Speedway? We haven't seen that since 2009.
We did, and there's no better drafting partner on one of these tracks than his driving extreme teammate of Kinsley Smith.
I feel like Darrell Waltrip up here. Oh, some bump drafting going on here at Charlotte. I mean, Lowe's Motor Speedway. all we're waiting for is Ryan Newman to smack the wall and send Jeff Gordon around.
You know, my favorite paint scheme from the Charlotte was T-Rex, the infamous T-Rex.
Yeah, and the story behind it was Ray Evernham saying, yeah, Big Bill said, hey, by the way, call Rick Hendrick and tell him that car is illegal. No, that car is fine. Tomorrow it's going to be illegal.
Yeah, that was great.
To think that thing was 20 years ahead of its time. Evernham knew what he was doing.
Well, so Ray Evernham was a crew chief that thought like an engineer.
Yeah, he did. And speaking of that, I am so glad they've actually brought back the iRock series.
Yeah.
I guess they're doing a little bit of a show and race over at Lime Rock Park coming up in July. I want to see iRacing go down there and scan the iRock cars. I don't care which one. It could be the Firebird. It could be the Avenger. For all I care, you guys could go down there and scan the Camaros. I want to see iRock in iRacing. That would be ideal right about now, especially with what we've got coming up in the next build come June.
Well, I can tell you right now, what's really exciting is Brandon Zimmerman trying to get around Kinsley Smith. As we got a 5-car battle for the lead.
Dude, try again. It's more like a 6 battle because Andrew Lockett's trying to tag onto this. Yeah, that pink Whitney Toyota is starting to make his presence felt. And again, he was strong when they ran Las Vegas. So it doesn't surprise me to see him trying to make some headway here now.
Yeah, Zach Lockett in a number 93 truck. The beautiful pink Whitney Toyota Tundra. And if we got a single file line, and these guys are on a 6-truck breakaway right now for the rest of the field. As Andrew Tefft is pretty much Zach Lockett's closest competition. And even these guys are starting to close in.
Yeah, it's about a second off. Once those top 6 get to battling, the field will close back up again. The old accordion effect will come into play.
Brendan Honeycutt, he's going to go by. That is Curtis Ecker there in that number 19 truck. Looks like he's going to get that spot pretty handedly.
Yeah, I think Ecker's still trying to take it easy on that truck after knocking the right side off it earlier.
You got to remember, they only got a 15 incident point limit. So
Yeah, you really got to baby things right now.
I'd like to thank everybody for joining us in the YouTube.com live chat as we are looking at Brandon Sanfilippo's truck. Bernadette Strong says, Madison says, let's go Bernadette Strong, and you know it's thoughts and prayers go out to Brandon Sanfilippo, and you know he's racing for Bernadette. Well wishes to Bernadette, and hope she comes back on the other end of that unfortunate situation.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I did something similar when my better half was battling an illness. I actually had an orange ribbon on the hood of my ARCA car for a handful of races in a league I was in. So I get the emotion that's currently behind that truck, but he's doing a whale of a job keeping it up front. He had a chance to win Vegas if it wasn't for a mistake late. I think he's trying to rectify that right now.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is Brandon Sanfilippo is on the inside of Sean Merriman. Can he get the spot? Turn lap 50, Kinsley Smith gonna go down there and try to back him up just a little bit.
What's interesting is that 18 took such a wider line through 1 and 2. He was able to hang with him, and now he's going to make it real difficult coming off of 3 and 4.
Here comes Brandon Sanfilippo. Does he have enough motor this time by through the quadruple? No, he will not make the pass.
And again, that's the nature of the beast here at Charlotte. You get a run on the outside, you can clear people a lot easier because you're pinching them down. They can't take the natural line that the truck wants to take, and it's forcing them to do something different as we got Kinsley Smith banging off the wall.
Kinsley Smith scrapes that outside wall, puts a little Charlotte stripe on it.
Yeah, a little bit of a Charlotte kerfluffle on the side of that 15.
It could have been a whole lot worse.
Yeah, it could have.
It's funny when Brandon Zimmerman first debuted the Planet Fitness sponsor on his truck. I was calling a race with Mike, and I'm like, I think Brandon Zimmerman's truck trying to tell me to go back to the gym.
If we wanted to go to the gym, we wouldn't have direct drive wheels that are cranked up to 100% force feedback. Thank you very much, Jimmy Broadbent. I will say the purple on that 65 truck is gorgeous. That deep metallic purple is just chef's kiss. I love it.
Well, so Brandon Zimmerman's going to go around Kinsley Smith, and he's going to take over that third spot. Kinsley Smith is one of those guys that plays it real smart, and these guys will do anything to save gas. We've seen drivers turn their trucks off going through a corner and then turning it back on.
Yeah, but I don't think these guys are completely killing it and then refiring. I think they're just kind of lifting, coasting, and then squeezing back on the throttle so that way they're not buzzing the rear tires. They're just kind of easing it back on the throttle and trying to save that extra ounce or two of fuel per lap. As we got Alex Tift up 13 positions to 5th place, and he's starting to get ready to start knocking on some serious doors because he's got Troy Thomas ahead of him.
Well, so we've been racing for about 31 minutes here under green flag conditions. And I'd like to thank everybody in the YouTube.com live chat. Make sure you get those bells ringing, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and every time Sim Racing Media comes on air, you guys will absolutely be notified. We got racing over 6 nights. 6 nights racing as we start to see green flag stops commence. Brandon Sanfilippo, he's going to come on in. Troy Thomas is coming down pit road. Sean Merriman. Brandon Zimmerman's going to take the race lead.
It looks like the top 3 3 of the top 4 all came down pit road. I think this is a huge strategy play because you also have Dennis King, Curtis Ecker, and Kirby Wainscott on pit road. So this is definitely a fuel strategy run.
So we kind of figured this would happen. They last came in on lap 25. So they're well within the pit window.
Yeah, so it looks like they're getting about 30 laps of fuel a run. So that means they're going to have one more stop roughly around 85, 86 laps in. So right around 20 to go, we'll start seeing stops. It'll be interesting to see who comes in and gets tires and who just comes in to get a full tank of fuel.
Well, I think that if, and look, me and the wonderful Mike Damani, who you will hear at 10:20 Eastern Time over on WSRL, he will have Sam Frazier in the booth with him tonight. We try to adjust these guys' pit strategy, and when we think we got to figure it out, they zig and we zag. So,
well, seems like everybody's channeling their inner Rowdy Roddy Piper here and saying, yeah, no. You think you know you think you got our answers? We changed the questions on you. Oh, dear God, I'm full of old school racing, full of old school wrestling references tonight.
Hey,
next thing you know, I'm going to break out some Dusty Rhodes on everybody and start talking about hard times, daddy.
I love the old school WWE stuff.
Yeah.
That's when wrestling was, in my opinion, in its heyday.
Man, the old school days, the DX era, Rock and Austin, the works, Hogan coming back, NWO style. How appropriate we're talking NWO when they had a Busch Series car in the late 90s, and here we are at Charlotte where I think Kyle Petty actually had his best finish in that car.
Speaking of best, right now Kirby Wayne's got to set the fastest lap of the race here on lap 57. So if that's any indication, right now the track temperature is now 79 degrees.
Yeah,
and the ambient temperature, and the ambient temperature is now 75 degrees.
Yeah, which means there's really not a whole lot of change, which means the track's not evolving, which means there's still going to be a whole lot of grip for these guys come late in the race.
For sure, as right now, Brandon Sanfilippo there, all by himself, he will effectively take the race lead over.
Yeah, unless he decides to come down pit road this time by, as Kinsley Smith decides to get some fuel and get back out on track. Fuel and tires, of course.
I mean, it's only a matter of time whenever these guys go and get whenever Brandon Sanfilippo will finally peel off and get pour Dr. Feelgood and go fast.
Yeah, a little bit of go-go juice. Yes, Dave, I'm even stealing some of your lines from Fuel and Tires. Deal with it.
Well, you know,
Sanfilippo ain't going to hold the lead long because he's got Merriman barking down his tree right about now.
So we see Joe Hudson has crashed on our screen. Let's take a look.
Oh, I don't think he crashed. I think he just had a technical problem.
I think his fun meter's just been pegged.
Yeah, I think so, but it doesn't look like he's the first one to the beer stand. I think we already have somebody who beat him there.
I certainly hope. Well, Truth Hogan is sitting on pit road right now, and he's been there for a good minute.
Yeah. Right now, Sanfilippo is actually kind of holding on to about a second lead on Merriman, and it's kind of holding steady. So, my question is Sanfilippo trying to get this run to go just that much longer to where he can make a shorter stop with roughly, it's about 30-odd laps. If he stopped now, he'd be looking at coming in with about either side of 10 to go.
Well, his last pit lap was lap 55. Was the last time he's down pit road.
Okay, so all these guys have come out.
This is the cycle.
Okay, so the cycle has fully come around.
Yeah.
Okay, and it looks like him and Merriman were two of the last ones because I'm looking at this now. Philip Archibald was in lap 50, Zimmerman 56, Wayne Scott 54, and then everyone else was right around 55 to 59.
Correct.
Kinsley Smith in on lap 60. So these guys are looking to, I want to say, make their final stop either side of 85 to 90.
I don't disagree with that one. Truce Hope has made it back onto the racetrack there in that number 59 truck. 4 laps down, so that would make Joe Hudson your winner of the race beer stand right now so far.
Yeah, because he ain't moving anywhere, and yeah, I think he done had it.
Yeah, he definitely had his fun meter pegged down on lap number 60, and he'll win the unfortunate race in the beer stand.
After this race, I wouldn't mind putting a little bit of Pink Whitney in my Coke.
Never had Pink Whitney, and I certainly do not drink Coca-Cola. If I have been soda-free for a year and a half now, so.
As much as I hate to say it, I run on caffeine, but that's because of the morning show mainly. I mean, come on, I gotta match the energy in my dude Snowman and Vicola.
Bentley's your car. Time Chan says, hi, how are you doing, Bentley?
Good to see some new people in the chat tonight. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and get that bell on to see all of the amazing action here at Sim Racing Media.
The battle for 5th position right now is Troy Thomas is going to go around Philip Archibald, and he's going to get a little side draft action going on and get a little bit loose.
Yeah, that's the thing with these trucks. You can also get them really arrow loose if you side draft somebody. As we see Archibald try to get the crossover on Wayne Scott, and it ain't going to work. So he's going to fall back into 6th position.
We're doing great up here in the booth, live from Charlotte, North Carolina, Concord, North Carolina, after Charlotte Motor Speedway. We are going to go ahead and step aside and pay the bills here on Sim Racing Media. I'm Alan Bergen from the Tony Surpassa studio here in south of St. Louis, Missouri, and you're with Shane Lake from literally in the middle of nowhere, Maine. But we're gonna step aside.
Let's get it right, dude. I'm up in Waterville, not exactly the middle of nowhere, just close to it.
Close to it. Anyway,
we got some bills to pay. We'll be right back.
And we are back here, 75 laps in on this 105 lap race. Kirby Wayne Scott running back there in 8th. He lost a position. Brandon Sanfilippo is all by his lonesome out there in the lead with a commanding 2-second lead over for Sean Merriman. They're in the 18 truck.
I think Merriman's kind of holding in cruise control mode now because, again, you got one more stop to make here. That's going to be coming up in the next 8 to 10 laps, give or take. I think that's going to be after that we're going to see the reins come off of these guys and start making some moves.
Well, this is the closest battle to Brandon Zimmerman right now is Brandon Honeycutt, Alex Tuft, and Kinsley Smith, who started in that 8th position. And he just,
you know, he's chilling. I would say he's chilling, but he just smacked the wall again.
He's definitely not chilling.
No, I think I think those tires are starting to go away a little bit more. You see Jason Bottoms on pit road.
Jason Bottoms coming down pit road, just as Shane said, and he's going to slide it into his pit box.
And Andrew Teff joins him. So a little bit of an early cycle for pit stops.
I don't know that, like I said, in this league, when you think you got their, whoa, hello.
Yo.
Sean Merriman, you need to settle down there, buddy.
Yeah, he just about took the back end off that 51 truck of Rick Kennedy. But again, maybe these guys know something we don't, because 78 laps now, you put 30 into it's 108, so they'd be good for one green-white checker. So they are going to be able to make it from here. It's just spending that extra time on pit road. As we see the 65 of Zimmerman come in, Brandon Sanfilippo is going to be ahead of him.
Well, Brandon Sanfilippo then too.
Yeah, which means the cycle has truly begun. What the hell do we know up here, right?
Well, you know, I do know one thing. Brandon Sanfilippo is being heavily pursued by Alex Tefter in a Home Depot number 43.
Brandon Honeycutt.
Yes.
Sanfilippo's on pit road. They're still watching that as Kirby Wayne Scott and Dennis Kane are on pit road with him.
Zach Lockett, another playoff driver there, and he is right now running 3rd.
Yeah, these are the guys that are going to be coming in towards the end of the cycle. So they're going to spend less time on pit road, which means they might cycle out just a little bit quicker than everybody else and try to get in position for that final 20-odd lap run.
So here's my take on it, and as a driver, I would probably, if the tires are still feeling good, just go in for a splash of gas and get out.
Well, you figure a full tank of fuel and tires is right around 15, 16 seconds. If you're taking on enough to get you through to the end of the race, at least take on 2 tires, if not all. Because why take that chance? Because late in the run, as we see Sanfilippo smack the wall. Why take that chance late in the run? Because you're going to be giving up about a second to a second and a half on these tires.
As Alex Teff works his way down the back straightaway, closing in ever so slightly on that 13 truck of Brandon Honeycutt. And here, wow, Brandon Honeycutt there in that 13 truck. There's the eyeball test right there.
Yeah, he's staying out. I think he's going to try to extend this window a little bit longer, just to try to get a little bit of a gap as Chris Ecker now comes down pit road.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be the money stop right here. As we watch.
Yeah, as we were watching Eckert come in before we split over here, Honeycutt was getting his doors blown off by Merriman and Sanfilippo, so that's the difference in tires right about now.
Well, it's funny you mention that because here goes Alex Tuft. He's still got the lead right now. Barry Stevens finds himself up in the 4th position as he comes down pit road.
Yeah, Zach Lockett said, I'm done. I need some feel goods myself. So he came in from 3rd. Now what we have here is going to be effectively the battle for the lead between Merriman and Sanfilippo. It's going to be entertaining to see how these two duke it out here towards the end of this race because there's nothing in it between those two right now.
Well, look at it this way. Right now, Sean Merriman is essentially racing for 13th position in points. Brandon Sanfilippo, on the other hand, he's racing for a championship. So these guys are going to approach the closing laps, a lot differently than you would somebody that's not in the playoffs would.
Well, yes and no, because you also got to realize who's in the playoffs right now after all that's gone on. And if you can pick up points on Kinsley Smith, he's currently sitting 7th on track. If Sanfilippo can put a dent in that points lead by winning the race, he has to go for it.
19 laps to go. Troy Thomas running in that 4th position, right where he started at. He just wants to have a pretty good points night.
And that 12 truck is getting a little bit larger in the mirror of Sean Merriman.
The only person that wants to see these guys race side by side is Alex Tuft, and these guys are closing in on Alex Tuft as he's getting ready to put
that Zimmerman ahead of him a lap down. He's already put Kinsley Smith a lap down, but Kinsley's going to unlap himself with those fresh tires.
Kinsley Smith is going to unlap himself in a little bit more on the fresh tires.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Alex Tuft has got to be hoping for a miracle right about now and try to either hope for a caution, as that got a little interesting. He's either got to hope for a caution or Sean Merriman and Sanfilippo race themselves basically out of tire. Because he's got a 22-second gap on these two trucks behind him, but it's closing by the second. So he's got to hope something happens as we see Sanfilippo get around Merriman for 2nd.
Well, eventually the 12 truck of Brandon Sanfilippo and the 18 truck of Sean Merriman, that's eventually those two trucks are eventually going to get really large in Alex Tuft's rear view mirror. And Bentley's Your Car by Fan has just subscribed to SRM. Welcome to the family.
Alex Tuft was last in on lap 59, and he's coming down pit road now. There's no way he was making it. He tried to stretch it, hoped for a caution, knew he wasn't going to get it. He said, nope, I need fuel.
Yeah, Alex Tuft's going to come in and get that tanker go fast. Sunoco Racing Fuel to try to get to the end there. That's going to give the lead back to Brandon Sanfilippo, and he's getting ready to put Jason Bottoms down another lap as the field is cycled out, and everybody all the way back to Jason Bottoms is on the lead lap.
Yeah, which means there's 14 trucks available in case there's a late caution to try to throw a curveball into somebody's plans tonight.
Well, the only plan that Sanfilippo's got is going to Victor Lane.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, this is the perfect opportunity for him to pick up ground on Kinsley Smith because we know how dominant Kinsley can be. This is the opportunity with Kinsley having his struggles. Granted, he's up to 5th. This is still going to be able to put a dent in the points leading into next week.
You're not wrong there. Sean Merriman is trying to catch Brandon Sanfilippo, but the sands of the hourglass are running out, and Sean Merriman is essentially going to run out of laps before he can even catch him again, as he's almost right there.
Well, he's within about a second and a quarter right now with, it looks like 13 coming up on 12 and a half laps to go. But the problem is for Merriman, Sanfilippo's getting larger out his windshield.
Well, so Sanfilippo's getting larger out of the windshield, but Kinsley Smith is getting larger into the mirror.
Yeah, Kinsley's going to chase down Zimmerman for sure, but it's a matter of getting around him and how much tire he's got left. Because he's got to be able to work the high side if he needs to, but everyone's going to prefer to work the bottom, so he's got to figure out the maneuverability of this truck late.
Yeah, I mean, here comes the finger-looking good truck of Kirby Wainscott there. That KFC number 10 Toyota Tundra. And he's got Zach Lockett, and he's coming with him.
If that's not a hangover cure, I don't know what is.
Chicken and Pink Whitney.
Yeah, you get drunk off the Pink Whitney night during the night, and then you come back home, you have some KFC. First-hand experience. It works.
I'm a White Castle kind of guy.
I had some KFC the last time I got completely wasted out of my mind, and it worked. That and a couple of Monsters. Caffeine does wonders for a hangover, and I mean absolute wonders.
Well, right now, Zach Lockett right there is in 8th position. He's up 5 spots from where he started back in the 13th position, and he's actually looking for more.
Yeah, he's looking to get around Dennis Kane and does so as they work by the wounded 51 truck of Rick Kennedy. This is going to be an interesting little 3-truck battle towards the end of this race.
Yeah, this is the most exciting battle on the racetrack right now. Andrew Teff there we go. Yep, even live timing thinks it's the most interesting.
Yeah, they're closing in on Teff coming up here with about 10 laps to go. And I wouldn't be surprised if Lockett closes up on Teff. Again, though, it's going to be hard to get around him as he looks to the inside trying to get past that number 98 truck. And I think he's going to be able to do it. Or he's relatively close to doing it. Yeah, he actually got around him.
Yeah, Zach Lockett gets around that number 98 truck with Andrew Tuff with 8 laps to go, trying to get all the points that he can get. Andrew Tuff and Zach Lockett are both playoff drivers.
Yeah, Lockett right now is trying to keep tabs with Kinsley Smith as Kinsley gets around Troy Thomas, which is going to be the next one on Lockett's radar, and he is right there trying to make that move as well.
7 laps to go. With Troy Thomas, you mentioned Troy Thomas. There he is, that number 88 truck.
That's probably why Kinsley Smith got around him. He popped the wall because you can see the right side damage on that black and white Chevrolet.
Yeah, and it's funny you mentioned that. We got, coming up on 6 laps to go here. Troy Thomas, we had a chance to. He's never seen a dirt late model race until Friday night. We were watching Farmer City.
Ooh, that's a
flow
good
racing. Yes.
That's definitely a track that needs to be put in iRacing.
Yes. Well, I mean, they got Fairbury in there.
Yeah, they do, but they need. A friend of mine said to me earlier that they need to put Beach Ridge in iRacing before it gets closed down. There's a few other tracks I can think of that need to be put in, as the Flagman has got a fistful for Sanfilippo. We are 5 to go.
5 to go, 5 flanges in the air for Brandon Sanfilippo there as he comes down the back straightaway. I mean, only 1 caution for the whole night on 100 laps, so.
Yeah, and Sanfilippo is maintaining just over a 3-second lead on Merriman.
I mean, Merriman needs a catastrophe to happen to Brandon Sanfilippo to legitimately have a shot in this one, but still, what a strong run that he had.
Yeah, leading a lot of laps early. That truck was pretty strong. It's just, it seems like pit strategies went Sanfilippo's way, and he's been able to check out ever since. As Zimmerman's looking in his mirror, he's got Kinsley Smith closing in on him. I got a feeling we're going to see a battle here between these two before we get to the checkers.
Yeah, and we're going to kind of stick with this battle right now. It's Brandon Sanfilippo kind of pretty much has his race in hand. We got 3 to go.
Yeah, he's got this pretty much wrapped up. We say that now, hoping we don't have a late caution.
Yeah, we're Jason Bottoms went. Looks like maybe he did some landscaping.
Yeah, landscaping and brought her down pit road afterwards.
I think
we got the popsicle sticks up.
Oh, we got a caution.
Oh my God! The commentator's curse is real, everybody.
Let's see what happened to Jason Bottoms.
Yeah, that's got to be what's going on.
Oh, Jason Bottoms takes the slide for a live.
Yeah, and brings it on track and brings it back down and tries to park it. That brought out a caution.
We're gonna run this back. Well, I think what brought out the caution was. Here we go. Let's.
Okay, Bottoms got loose off before and just went agricultural.
Yeah, so he takes the slide for life right through the infield grass.
He
almost
hopped the inside wall.
And he, if all things that hit, he literally did hit the pace truck.
Cole Trickle will be proud right about now.
So would Harry Hyde.
Yeah. Go out there and hit the pace car. Hit the pace car? Hit the pace car. What for? You hit every other damn thing out there. I just want you to be perfect. Can you tell we're racing fans here, ladies and gentlemen?
We are racing fans.
Now, what this means is overtime.
Oh, yes.
And what we mean by that, ladies and gentlemen, is we're going to go green, white, checker, which means once the pace truck comes off, is we got most everybody coming down pit road, and San Filippo is going to be a sitting duck.
I wouldn't go that far.
Dude, everyone's going to have 4 stickers on a 2-lap dash. San Filippo's not going to be able to hold it wide open. These guys are.
San Filippo.
Now, as I was explaining before, we saw everybody come down pit road, and San Filippo just went, oh, crap. Once the pace truck comes off of turn 4 and makes that left-hand turn, we're going to get the green flag. As long as we get back before a caution hits, we will see the white flag, which means the next flag after that would end the race, whether it's caution or checker. If we get a yellow flag after we come, well, before we come back to the white, it's a restack, re-rack, and we do it all again.
You know, they only get 1 green, white checker attempt.
Oh, there's only one in this
There's
league?
only 1.
Ooh, so it's one of those checkers or wreckers when it comes down to it. I see how it is.
Yeah.
That's going to be entertaining. Which means San Filippo, if he wants to win this race, is going to hope basically everybody wads up behind him and he's leading when they get the caution. Because that's the only way he's going to win this race.
Well, right now, Truth Hope would be your wave around truck, as he is about 4 laps down. So I imagine he'll get the go ahead and get the wave around as he's gonna go on and get his pit services done. But you know what though, you're probably not wrong whenever you said Brandon Sanfilippo is kind of well, I don't know, what's the word I want to. He's gonna hang on for dear life.
The word you were looking for is he's screwed. I'm sorry, but he's screwed. Everyone behind him on the lead lap took tires. He's going to be struggling off the start.
Well, as we quote Dr. Leonard Hofstadter from The Big Bang Theory, he's a shaft with a helix wrapped around an inclined plane. So, yeah, he's screwed. It took me 106 laps, but I finally did it. See, I'm not the only one that can do it.
Oh, you were waiting to break that one out.
I practiced it for like an hour.
Yeah, I don't practice. I just have this stuff off the top of my head. I don't need any index cards. Get that out of my face. I don't need any index cards, damn it. As I was saying.
Well, I tell you right now, Brandon Sanfilippo probably could use an index card right now.
What he needs is another caution almost off the bat. I told you guys I don't need you writing my jokes for me. What is this, Hollywood?
Hey, look, we're here to inform and entertain.
It's infotainment, ladies and gentlemen.
That's a new one. I'm gonna write that one down.
Now I got people stealing my lines. What the hell's going on around here tonight?
I steal a lot of people's lines. Actually, let's see. Mike Damani started stealing my lines too.
I think right now Brandon Sanfilippo's hoping to steal this win, but I don't think Merriman's going to give him the chances. The lights are out on top of the pace truck, and we are getting ready to hit overtime.
Well, we're gonna come down the back straightaway first.
Yeah, the truck's just right now. Sanfilippo's like, please let there be a caution behind me. Please let there be a caution behind me. Someone spin the tires. Do something.
Brendan Sanfilippo's got to be sure he doesn't jam up the outside line because he is on the outside.
Yeah, and he's also on the older tires, which means he has to anticipate this restart. I mean, yes, he's going to be able to lead it, but he's also got to be able to be like, okay, if I know I can smoke this guy right as soon as I hit the restart zone, I need to do it.
Well, we're about to find out.
Yeah, it's gut check time from Charlotte Motor Speedway as that truck's going to make that hard left-hand turn. The restart zone awaits. Barney's got the green flag in the air. Overtime from Charlotte. We are back green. And Sanfilippo does the job.
Whoa.
We got a caution behind him. Oh, that's it. That's it. Sanfilippo gets the miracle.
Well, look, you said it was a miracle on 34th Street. We just witnessed a miracle at Charlotte, North Carolina.
Brandon Sanfilippo got the miracle.
He definitely has to go back and see what happened there.
It started with the 43 and the 10, and then it evolved from there because then we saw, I think, the 65 down into turn 1 also get turned around.
So here
Unbelievable.
So here's coming back.
Okay, so again, Sanfilippo gets the jump of a lifetime on Merriman.
But he doesn't bottleneck the outside line.
No, he doesn't. Oh, the 43 just scrapes across the 88's back bumper. The 88 turns the 10, and then it's a massive checkup. It is a parking lot down into turn 1.
So let's do this. Let's go to Alex Tuft here.
Yeah, because he got wounded on this one.
We're trying to sort this accident out here at the end of the race.
Okay.
So,
right there's good. Right there's
okay.
good. Right there's good. Now play this up. You're going to see. I don't know if he gets into the 88 to cause him to get loose, and the 88 gets wheel spin, and then the 43 gets him. But 88. But that's what happened to the 65. Teft got him, and that just bottled up the entire front end of the field. And then as he was trying to check up, the 43 got the 88. And that was what sent this whole thing into chaos. And Brandon Sanfilippo is thanking his absolute lucky stars.
If I'm Brandon Sanfilippo, I'm going to go buy a lottery ticket right now.
Yeah, I'd be getting about 3 of them and hoping they all pay off. As Sanfilippo's going to burn it down as everyone's gone by to give him a little congratulatory bump and grind. Because this race is over.
What we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and bring our top 3 up.
Yeah, give it a second here as everyone comes down pit road and Sanfilippo is slow cruising around celebrating.
That's all right. We got time.
Yeah, we got a minute because Sanfilippo's going to burn it down in front of the Charlotte fans tonight. Yeah, San Filippo's burning it down on the front straightaway here. That is a huge points day for him. I mean, granted, Kinsley Smith still came across the line, I believe, 4th, but that's still going to put a dent in Kinsley's points lead.
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start with our third place finisher, and that is Dennis Kane, and I will have him with you.
Sounds good to me. Hey, Dennis, it's Alan and Shane up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, hey, how's it going?
Man, talk about that wild restart to end this race.
Yeah, right. I know a lot of us took 2 tires, so I personally didn't know how they were going to act. I tried to warm them up. I dropped down to first and spun them out there right before the green flag drop, just to try to get them hot. And I think that's what happened. Was it Zimmerman? I think it was Zimmerman. Or somebody did. I don't know. I think they apologized afterwards, said the 2 tires didn't work or something. I think they got loose.
Yeah, we were watching the replay back. It looked like the 88 and the 43 had a little bit of contact, and then it just went haywire from there.
Yeah, I mean, not exactly how I want a podium, but hey, I'll take it.
I know. Hey, that's just the nature of the beast racing around here. You ended up +8 on the field, 3rd place tonight. What was your strategy going into this race?
I mean, I was hoping for longer runs. I burned off my tires too much on the first run, and there was too many laps left, and I just lost way too much position, and I never could seem to make it back. I mean, it seemed like I was gaining on people in the long run, but I was just too far back, and so I short pitted a couple times. I think, kind of got up into the top 10. I think I was running like 8th, when the caution came out, and so from what happened in the beginning, I would have been happy with that result. I made a little bit of mistakes in the beginning, ran too hard.
Yeah, well, that's the nature of how things go around here. You end up clawing back to a solid 3rd place finish. Anybody you want to thank before we let you get out of here and celebrate the podium?
Yeah, man. Thank you guys over there at SRM, Racers Elite, everyone who supports us. So we got a raffle going on right now. I think we haven't posted to the public, but I think we're going to post it to the public for some autographed full-size helmets. So check that out on our Facebook page here shortly or in our Discord.
All right, man. We'll celebrate that P3 finish. Crazy way to end a race. You enjoy that podium, huh?
Cool. Thank you.
All right, and that was. I get to talk to Sean Merriman. Sean, this is Shane and Alan in the SRM booth. How's it going, bub?
Yes, how are you?
Well, we're doing good. Look, what a heck of a run that you just ran, driver out of Winchester, Virginia. Sean, you're not in chase, but you're able to play spoiler. What does that do for your mindset as you're trying to build momentum into the next season?
Oh, I'll correct you there. I am in the chase. I just don't have the banner on my truck. I'm not smart enough to figure out how to put it on. And Kensley's helped me out with schemes and stuff before, but I bother him too much about doing little stuff like that. So technically, I'm up there, but I just ain't computer literate enough to figure out how to get that thing on there. But
hey, look, I know just enough to get me in and out of trouble.
That's
right.
I know how to get on iRacing and race. That's about it. Anything else?
I'm the same way, dude. I'm the same way.
So, but yeah, it was a good race. I mean, Brandon deserved to win that race. I don't know what happened there at the end with that late caution, but I mean, we've been talking, and it was, I don't know, a little suspicious. But the end result, Brandon winning, me second, where we were all night. I mean, that's the way it should have been. So I'm glad it worked out that way.
Well, look, we're moving on to through the rest of this race, season. What's your mindset as we continue to work through the Racers Elite Truck Series?
Oh, well, I know Milwaukee's next week, and if there's one type of track I really am terrible at, it's flat track. So, not expecting to be very competitive there.
Hey, you know what? You know what, Sean? I hate to cut you off, but if you need a victory outdoor scheme, Victory Outdoor Services scheme, let me know.
All right.
I got a basic one, but hey, it's fun.
Yeah. But Milwaukee next week, flat track. Yeah. And then you got Daytona the week after. That's anything can happen there. So for a little luck, I think Kinsley ended up there in fourth or fifth, so didn't gain many points on him, and Brandon got the win, so he should be up there. I mean, there's 4 or 5 of us all there under a blanket going for the championship, so need a little luck. Need them to have a little bad luck, but do my best. That's all I can do.
All right, Sean. Before we get you out of here, is there anybody that you would like to thank to help get you here tonight?
My wife Sabrina, expecting a baby here in a couple weeks. So Egan's sitting there listening to my wife screaming up and down, jumping up and down. Parents, brother, sister, nieces, Haven and Harper. Love all of them. Appreciate all they do for me personally, and tuning into your broadcasts every Tuesday night to watch me do some iRacing.
Well, hey, look, get ready for you'll be trading that steering wheel for some diapers. So
That's Tuesday's the only night I'm committed to. I don't really run any other night in the week that I'm committed to doing. So if I can get an hour and a half on Tuesday nights to run here in Racers Elite Truck Series, I'll give up the rest of it. But looking forward to it.
Well, hey, tell Sabrina the SRM family gives her well wishes as you guys embark on this journey called parenthood, and we'll see you on the next one.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, that was Sean Merriman there, your second place finisher. And last but certainly not least, the guy who played the strategy to a T, Shane, here is Brandon Sanfilippo.
Brandon Sanfilippo, it's Shane and Al up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
I do. How you guys doing?
Man, we thought you were an absolute cooked duck on that final restart. How were you feeling knowing everyone else was going in for tires? Did you have the ability to know you were going to hold them off?
No, so I was really watching Sean to see what he was going to do. He went in late, and I figured there's still going to be some cars maybe near the back of the pack that come up to the front just to try to steal some spots for the end. And maybe they would kind of create a barrier between me and the other cars with fresh tires for a couple laps, because I know everybody took 2 tires. So my other thought was I hope maybe they get loose. That can cause that to happen sometimes. Or just like every other race, when we do a green-white checkered, there's a caution within the first half of the lap. So luckily I got the ladder there and came away with a win that I thought I freaking had in the bag.
Yeah, you were looking strong definitely from the second half of the race on. What type of strategy were you playing going through this entire race?
Really just a tire saving line, trying to stay low with a low entry. I think it paid off. I just could not have enough tire to get under Sean. 3 and 4, I got under him, hoping he would run the high lot and then hit that wall that juts out on turn 4. But man, was he consistent. I got to give it to him. That was some of the best head-to-head racing I think I've done this season. He's clean. He's a good driver. He's really consistent. So that was a lot of fun. And I just got lucky enough, had a faster pit on that the first green flag pit stop, got ahead of him and was able just to save tires. But after that second pit stop, he got ahead of me. I knew he probably was hot lapping just to get ahead of me, knowing that I had a difficult time passing him. And I think that's what wore his tires down enough for me to get around them on that last leg there.
Yeah, definitely. And you end up coming away with a win. As you said, they all stacked it up behind you. Is there anybody you want to thank before we let you get out of here and celebrate in front of these Charlotte fans tonight?
Just my friends and family for tuning in and watching. And my sister-in-law, Bernadette, driving the Bernadette Strong Chevy Silverado tonight. So glad to bring that into victory lane for her.
Hey, give her all of our best from up here in the booth. And congratulations on a whale of a win, man. Definitely going to be someone to watch out for as we head up to Milwaukee next week.
Hey, appreciate it, guys. Thank you for putting on the show.
Thanks for putting one on for us.
All right, that's Brandon Sanfilippo, your race winner. And Shane, I tell you what, we are going to go ahead and run through our race results here from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Brandon Sanfilippo will bring home the win. Sean Merriman will bring home the second place finish. Rounding out your podium will be Dennis Kane. Kinsley Smith will bring it home fourth. Rounding out your top 5 will be Brandon Honeycutt. Curtis Ecker will bring it home P6. Andrew Tuth and Barry Stevens will bring it home 8th. Zach Lockett and Philip Archibald will round out your top 10. Brandon Zimmerman will bring it home 11th. Alex Tuft will bring it home 12th. 13th will be Troy Thomas. Kirby Wainscott will bring it home P14 with Rick Kennedy bringing it home 15th. Truth Hoke will bring it home 4 laps down there in that 16th position. Jason Bottoms will bring it home 17th. And rounding out your field and winning the race to the beer stand will be Joe Hudson. Well, we head to the Midwest next week here with the Racers Elite Truck Series. And I got to tell you what, it's going to be some easy money as these guys go to Milwaukee.
I wouldn't be so sure about that. Milwaukee's a tough place to drive. It's a little bit different than New Hampshire, which a lot of guys have run on this service. Because New Hampshire's got the variable banking, Milwaukee is flat from top to bottom. It's going to be a challenge for these guys. They're going to want to have a high arc into the corner and try to apex it down late. That's the only way they're going to be able to get the drive off. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next week for these guys, especially with it being a chase race.
Yeah, and as we get ready to wrap this season, this event up here at Charlotte, I am looking forward to watching that race live here on Sim Racing Media. But don't forget, you can watch this over 6 nights of racing a week. But as for right now, that's going to do it all from the Charlotte Motor Speedway here in Concord, North Carolina. I'm Alan Bergen, and that's Shane Lake, and you've been watching Racers Elite. Have a good night.